Hey guys, get your dynamic warm-up going, and I'm going to talk to you about our full body workout today. The focus of our full body today is back and glute. So that means you're going to need heavier weights in the scheme of things. Your back is a stronger muscle, so your upper body weights are going to be a little heavier today, and then of course working our lower body, we always grab some heavier weights. Along with those heavier weights, I'm going to be using the TRX. I'm going to be using my bench for some elevation. I've also got my barbell out. If you don't have any of those things, don't panic, because I'm going to give you alternatives for all of those. We're supersetting today. I've got 7 sets. We're going to have a timer set for us today to keep us going at the same pace. And that's about it. So finish up that dynamic warm-up, come back to me, and we're going to get warmed up with our cardio starter. All right, first exercise is going to be knee ups here for our cardio starter. We're going to do 20 seconds on one leg. We'll get a 10-second break. Here we go. And we'll do 20 seconds on the other leg. Give me a good tempo here. This is our opportunity to warm up our full body before we jump into our strength sets. Good job. Break. Let's hit that other leg. Then we're going to do those side lunge touches. Here we go. Really try to extend those arms. Nice tempo here. All right, that side lunge. Touch, hop, touch. Bend in the outside leg. Center leg stays straight. Nice job. Good reach overhead in the center. We'll do rainbows after this. Rainbows are nice straight arms, drawing that rainbow overhead. All of these are pretty low impact, but they should get everything ready for some strength work. 3 pulse jump squat is next. 1, 2, 3, jump and land soft. If the jump is too much, just come to a stand. Nice job. Land soft. Try to go low to high here. Warm up those legs. All right, we're going to do a squat with a side kick to finish up here. Here we go. All right, now that we're warmed up and our hearts are pumping, we're going to get right into our first superset. Nice work. All right, let me show you our first superset, and then you can decide which weights you need to grab for this. We're going to be doing an elevated plank row. So with that is where my bench comes into play here. Or for you, you can do this on a chair, or you can just do sort of a traditional one-arm row if you don't have either of those things. If you do have that elevation, you're getting into a nice plank position with your arm rested on your elevation. The other arm is holding a fairly heavy weight. I'm pulling that up, getting that elbow as high as I can. Slight pause at the top, control the down, and up. It's a whole lot of core, and it's just a different way to work our back there. We're gonna do one round one side, second round the other side. The third round, I'll keep the eye on the timer and have us do a quick switch halfway through. I'm then grabbing a heavier weight for an elevated glute raise. Here's what it looks like if you have some elevation. My legs are at a 90 here with my ankles stacked under my knees and I'm pushing through the heels. I've got a pretty heavy weight resting here on my hips. I go down, up, halfway down, up. It's a 1.5. Every time I come to the top, I want a little squeeze and a pause at the top. So down, up, halfway, up. 1.5 glute raises. If you don't have this elevation, again, it's going to be the same thing. Glute bridge on the floor, holding your weight here on your hips, okay? So heavy weights here for your row, heavy weight for your elevated glute raise. I'll get our timer started. With those elevated rows, or you're doing a one-arm row. Keep that core nice and tight. Lift that elbow and control the down. You're going to have to really fight to find balance here with this exercise. With control, pause at the top. Just like whenever I do my rows, my pause is at the top of that row. I'm not spending a lot of time at the bottom of that row. Almost there. All right, weighted glute raise. Whether you're elevated or on the floor, pick up that heavier weight. If you have a barbell across your hips, even better. Just make sure here your ankles are stacked under your knees. We're doing the 1.5. Really squeeze at the top. I keep my eyes following my torso direction, which keeps a nice neutral neck. It keeps the strain off of my neck by changing my eye sight location. Okay, elevated plank, other side here. Tighten up that core. There we go. Pause at the top. Control the down. Keep your neck neutral. Looking straight down. Whether you're doing the elevated plank or not. Pause at the top. One and a half glute raise. Back to it. Get yourself set up. Ankles under knees. Push through the heels. 1.5. Keep that neck where my hand is where my eyes are, to give you guys an idea of how my eyesight line changes to keep my neck neutral. Okay, this row I'm going to give you the halfway indicator to switch sides here. That's why I have the timer here for me. So when I say switch, it's going to be a real quick switch. Here we go. Try to count your reps here so that you can get even amounts on both sides. 2, 1, switch sides. Nice. All right, last weighted glute raise. Ankles under knees. Heavy weight to that side hip bone. Here we go, 1.5. If you do have a barbell on these, I really like it. The longer distribution of weight makes it a bit more of a challenge. I like using a barbell for my weighted glute raise, if you have it. Break. Okay, that was the first superset. Let me take you through our next 2 exercises. All right, this is the set I am going to be using my TRX. If you have it, great. If you don't, here are your options. We're going to be doing a wide row here. So, 2 heavier dumbbells for our back. I hinge at the hip as if I'm doing a deadlift preparation, and I'm going out strong with my elbows to the side for a wide row and controlling the down there, okay? Then we're going to be going into a single leg deadlift. I would suggest you keep the same 2 weights in your hands. Give me a kickstand stance here, heel to toe, rides down the front of your shin, nice flat back, engaged core, neutral neck, pull up using hamstring and glute. Same thing, we'll do one leg 1 round, other leg the next round, and the 3rd round, there it is, I'll give us a halfway indicator. Now, if you have a TRX, try to get a good angle for you. Our wide rows, body's in a nice tight plank, right? Start with your arms straight in front of you, pull out wide, control the down. Don't let your hips kick out of alignment there. My palms are facing the ground, pull wide, control the down. Then quickly, you're going to get 1 foot into the strap. I don't have my weights here. I'll grab this one. I've got a kettlebell because it's easier to grab on this. So I've got 1 foot in the strap. I've got my weight on my plant leg for one-legged deadlift. All right. Same thing here. We're going to do 1 leg, 1 leg. The 3rd round, it's going to be a quick switch. It's really a challenge, but do your best on that. All right? So those are our exercises. Grab what you need for that, and I'm going to get our timer started. All right, we're starting with our wide rows. If you're using your TRX with me, you know, here we go, your angle here will affect your difficulty in your rows. Keep that neck neutral here. Try not to get any tension in the neck. Visualize your arms back, pulling you up in this row. If going wide the whole time is too much for you here, you can alternate close and wide row with weights or with TRX. All right, we're going to 1 single leg deadlift. Quickly get your foot in the TRX if you're using it. If you're not, you're holding 2 weights with a kickstand start there. Keep your weight close to your shin. Keep your core engaged. I shouldn't see any rounded backs here. When I'm using the TRX on this and I'm doing the single leg, whatever my leg in the TRX wants to do here is fine. It just sort of sends it back, break, which puts all the work then in that plant leg. All right, back to rows. Again, remember, if you need to alternate between close and wide here, do it. If the wide is just too much, do what works for you here. If I'm using TRX, like to be on my heels here, sort of pulling my toes up. It allows me to really focus on back as I'm pulling up for those wide rows. Keep your core engaged, whether you're using TRX or weights here. Break. Other leg for the deadlift. With the TRX, I'm holding the weight on my plant leg side. If you're using weights, hold 2. If you're on the TRX and want to hold 2, great. I know a lot of you like to hold on to something here. That's why I just had one weight in my hand in case you wanted to hold on to something with the other hand. We're about to go into our third round. This is a round where we're going to quickly switch. With the deadlift. So back to rows here. Here we go. Wide row. If you need to alternate between wide and close, that's great. Go ahead. I really want you to connect mind to body here. Think about those shoulder blades. Almost there. Okay, if you're not using TRX, the switch is pretty simple here. If you're using TRX, you've got to be pretty quick, well balanced, and efficient in changing your deadlift here. Try to count your reps so you can get an even amount on both legs. Switch sides. I want to get 6 on each side. Going to go into the break a little bit to make sure I'm even. You guys can do the same if you need to get, I need one more. All right, nice job. Let's move on to the next superset. All right, we're going to be doing some sumo work here. So, first exercise, sumo. Knees and toes are in an exaggerated stance, but they're going in the same direction here. Option 1, you've got a dumbbell in each hand. I go down for my sumo, getting as low as I can, keeping my torso upright. When I come up, I'm pushing through my heels, and I pull those arms up for that upright row. Down, up, okay? That's with 2 dumbbells. I like to hold on to a kettlebell for this. That's another option if you would like that option. So it's a sumo plus the upright row. The second exercise we're going to be doing with this one is a sumo plie pulse. Now, look at my spacing here. Here's the gist of it. Sumo, again, and I'm going to stay low. I'm going to keep one heel up and pulse for 15 seconds. At halfway, I'm going to tell you to switch. If you would like to either hold on to the back of your chair, if you have the back of your chair out, or your TRX straps here, so you can really sit back into this, I highly suggest it. It's much more effective on targeting those glutes to really get back into that sumo plie. Okay, so sumo upright row, sumo plie, I'll get the timer going. You need lighter weights for that upright row here, and that's it. I'll get the timer going and kind of clear my workspace so I'm ready to do this. Okay, sumo upright row. Knees, toes, same direction. Use your mirror at home. Down, up, good. Use your mirror at home. Challenge yourself with how low you can get in your sumo squat. Don't let your torso fall forward here when you come down. You want to keep your torso upright. Push through those heels as you come up here. Some shoulder and back are getting worked with that upright row. All right, put the weights down. Hold on to back of your chair. A lot of times Cindy and I, when we're running our classes, we'll have a strap put around something so that you can really sit back into it. Here we go. One heel is up. Sumo pulse. I'm kind of holding on to my TRX here so I can really get back into this sumo pulse. Plie, one heel is up, 2, 1, switch sides. Now this heel is up. Really try to sit back into it. Think about knees back. You should get a burn here, especially after the Sumo Upright Row. Break. Woo, that's gonna leave a mark. All right, back to our Sumo Upright Row. Exaggerated stance. Here we go, down, up. Push through those heels. Look in your mirror. Challenge your range, your high to low range here. Push through those heels. This movement, this exercise, should keep our heart rates pumping here. Break, sumo plie. Get down low, stay low. I'm going to start with this heel up this time. Here we go. My left heel is up, and I'm pulsing. Ooh, and praying. Knees back. Do it for me right now. Knees back. Switch sides. I want you to really think about pulling those knees back. Immediately you should feel that shift in your glutes. Also, can you get your heel up a little higher? Oh, let me climb up out of that. All right, last round here. Sumo Upright Row. Grab those weights. Here we go. Down. Pull those elbows up nice and high. Good job. Push through those heels. Keep that torso upright. A lot of times we see your faces disappear. Keep it upright. I should be able to see you the entire time. Drive through those heels. All right, last plie here. We can do it, team. Whew. It's like cruel and unusual punishment that we're doing this with that, but here we go. Get that heel up as high as you can. Pulse. And think about knees back. I know, fight through it here. It's just body weight. Switch sides. Check yourself. How high is your heel? Oof. Push those knees back. Come on, we've got this. We're almost there. Okay, well done. Moving on. Okay, set 4 here, we're going to be doing some reverse flies. So those are going to be on the lighter end of things because we're keeping straight arms and having that weight out away from our body. So I hinge at the hip, keep a neutral neck, start with my arms down, straight hanging from my torso with my palms facing each other. The first round, we are going to alternate, going left to right, controlling the down. The second round, we are going to alternate and then go together. Alternate and then together. And the third round, we're just going to do it together. If that third round is too much for you, go back to what works. Either just alternating or the alternating plus the together rotation. Then I'm going to grab my heavy weights here. These should be the heaviest weights you probably grab today in this workout for deadlift. So heavy dumbbell in each hand, or if you've got a barbell with plates, I love that too. Weights are going to ride down the front of your shin, neutral neck, engaged core. I know that because my back is flat and I pull up using hamstring and glute. Okay, so heavy, lighter, I'll get the timer and we'll get this started. All right, reverse flies, we're alternating here. For round one, hinge at the hips, neutral neck, alternate sides. The most important part on reverse flies is that the down is as important as getting that weight up there. So you've got to control it. Don't let gravity control you. You've got to control that down movement. If you have any tension in your neck at all with these reverse flies, I want you to continue alternating all 3 rounds. Sometimes when we go to the together part, that puts too much stress and strain on your neck if you struggle with that already. All right, deadlift. Set those shoulder blades, here we go. Count your reps here. In 30 seconds, you're aiming for 8 to 15 reps, depending on how heavy your weights are. Heavier they are, the fewer reps you're gonna get in here. My heaviest weights, full disclosure, are holding our Christmas tree up on our roof. So I'm aiming for more reps with my deadlift today. All right, back to flies. We're gonna alternate left, right, and then go together. But just remember, as I said, if you're feeling too much tension in your neck here, continue just to alternate. You've got to stay focused on controlling the down on your flies, reverse flies. You've got to stay focused on keeping that core engaged. Protects that lower back. Break. Second round of deadlifts here. Whatever your rep count was on round one, you want to get that at least here in round two. Keep those weights riding down the front of your shins here. Again, 8 to 15, depending on how heavy your weights are. At the bottom of that deadlift, you've really got to keep that core tight. Break. Third round here. With the flies, if you're okay with it, we're doing together for our flies. If not, you're alternating. Control the down. Don't let the weights control you. Control the down. I actually think the down is more important than the up on these reverse flies in terms of getting your bang for your buck with the movement. Oh, nice work. Last round of deadlifts here. Here we go. Ooh, tighten that core, hinge at the hip. Here we go. I'm going a little faster because, as I said, these aren't my heaviest weights. They're on the roof. So how heavy your weights are will most definitely depend, or most definitely affect your rep count. Nice work. Let's move on. All right, for this set, we've got lat pullovers. I'm going to be using my bench here, but these can also be done on the floor. Heavier weight, and I'm holding that dumbbell vertically here. Straight arms, start right over my chest. Keeping them straight, I bring that weight all the way back so that my elbows end up here beside my head and pull back up right to my starting position. Now, if you're on the floor, that dumbbell's gonna hit the floor if you're holding it this way before I want it to. So try to hold it down here at the end of the dumbbell. If you were doing it on the floor, it's just going to give you a little bit of a greater range of motion there on your lat pullover. Now, we're going to do good mornings, and I'm going to use my barbell here. If you don't have a barbell, options, put a dumbbell behind you on the meat of your shoulders here. I'm holding this dumbbell hinging at the hip, just like I do with the deadlift, and pull back up. I'm not letting that weight at any time rest on my spine, on my neck here. Other option would be to have two dumbbells, one on each shoulder, that you're holding here and creating the same movement. If you've got a barbell, same thing, it's on the meat of my back. I hinge at the hip, I don't let that weight roll forward onto my neck. I keep my neck neutral and I pull back up. So lat pullovers, good mornings, heavier weight for a lat pullover generally speaking, and the good morning, if you're uncomfortable with it, go lighter with the good morning. It then just becomes more of a nice stretch for you if you're not real comfortable with that movement, because we don't want this going into your lower back at all. All right, remember how to hold the dumbbell if you're on the floor so that you get a greater range of motion on your lat pullovers. Here we go, straight arms. Try not to bend your arms, you don't want them locked, but I want to keep them as straight as possible so that I'm really addressing my lats that run along the side here in my back. Stop the weight pretty much where you started it here over your chest. Break. Good mornings. Now, those of you, again, who are real uncomfortable with the good morning movement, you can just do a nice good morning stretch with no weights at all and just use this as a moment to stretch those glutes and hamstrings. The thing I like about a good morning is that it's working those glutes and hamstrings in the opposite way that the deadlift works our glutes and hamstring. So we get a good workout if we combine both of those exercises together. All right, back to lat pullover. Been doing a lot of supersets lately. Those of you that have been doing the workouts know there's such an efficient way to get through your exercises. Last week I was doing opposing muscle groups, so like a chest and back. This week we're doing an upper and a lower, and you can just cycle through the exercises so quickly and efficiently, because while I'm working my back here, my glutes are getting a break. While I'm working my glutes, my back is getting a break. Good mornings. Hopefully you all have your music turned up. And you're just using this for the timer at this stage of the game. Turn up your music, you guys know what you're doing. Keep a nice neutral neck here by coming down, looking between your toes and up. Same concept as when we were doing the weighted, the elevated glute raise. Same concept. Moving your eyes from up to down between those feet. Keeps your neck in that neutral position. All right, final round here. The other way, if you're on the floor, you can hold this dumbbell horizontally as well to get a greater range of motion. You guys probably figured that out already. Sorry, I didn't mention it at the top of the set. I'm sure you guys are doing it already. count your reps even when we're timed, to try to stay consistent through each round and really challenge yourself. Especially when we are using the same weight throughout all 3 rounds. Your goal really needs to be to get the same amount of reps with every round. Keep that core nice and tight, especially at the bottom of this good morning. All right, 2 more sets to go. Okay, for this set 6, we are doing the drop row passes and the split squat. So let me remind you what the drop row looks like. I've got a single weight. It's a heavier weight for my back. I pull that weight up, nice high elbow. I let it come down a little bit, at which point I kind of drop it, catch it with my opposite hand, bring it over, and switch. Now, what I am forced to do here is engage that core in order to keep my shoulders nice and square and not let that weight control me, similar to the elevated plank row, okay? If that is too much, if you're feeling that too much in your lower back and it's putting too much strain on that lower back, then what I want you to do is have a dumbbell in each hand and give me seesaw rows that look like this, okay? Then that is going to be partnered with a split squat. You guys know what the split squat, this is my proper starting position, 90, 90, weight in each hand. I come up. Now my feet aren't going to move from this position as I go down and up. We'll do one leg one round, other leg the other round, final round, I'll give you the halfway indicator. Use your mirrors here to really challenge your range of motion on that split squat. All right, grab your weights and let's get this one going. Drop pass row or seesaw rows. Either way, I've got to keep my core engaged in order to find that balance and stability there and not let the weight pull me around. Try to get a nice high elbow. Even though we're not specifically doing any crunches throughout this workout, I'm sure you guys can feel that we have been using our core the entire time, especially on that one. All right, split squat. Get your proper positioning. Come up, dumbbell in each hand. Use your mirror to see how low you can get in your split squat. Challenge yourself here. When we limit our range of motion, it's really hard to get it back. So I want you to challenge your range here. Low to high. Good job. Break. Back to either that drop pass row or the seesaw row. Hinge at the hip. Engage that core. Keep those shoulders square to the ground. Get that elbow up there nice and high. Later in the week, split squat other leg. Later in the week, Cindy is going to be addressing chest and quads. So we'll get the rest of our workout in later in the week. Today we're just focusing on back and glute as our primary muscle groups. Obviously we're getting in core and shoulder and some bicep as well, but primary focus is back and glute. Look in your mirror here. What's your high to low? All right, round 3. Seesaw or drop pass. Tight core. Get that elbow up high. And keep those shoulders square. I feel all the way across my core as I pass that weight from one side to the other. I mean, you can almost track the muscles that are being used from left to right as I try to keep those shoulders square. Nice work. All right, I'm going to give you the halfway indicator here to make the quick switch with our split squat. With the split squat, it's easy to do. I just take a step forward to switch sides. Here we go. Count your reps again. Try to get a good, even count on left and right, even if that means you have to go into the break a little bit, that's fine. Switch sides. Nice job. All right, final set, we're going to be using bands. All right, let me give you all the options here to make sure everybody has what they need. I have my tube band hooked over the back of the door here, and I'm going to come down into a kneeling position, grabbing the end of my tube band and pulling those arms down straight, but I want to keep those shoulders down as low as I can and not let them hunch forward. So straight, pause, straight. If you don't have something for over your door, then we are going to just hold that band straight in front of us, straight arms, pull it back so that that band comes under your chest, squeeze those shoulder blades and come forward. Don't let there be slack in that band, you're wasting your time there. So keep tension in the band the whole time if you don't have something for over your door. Then we're going to do rear raisers here with the loop band. So I have my band around my ankles, rear raiser, I get my torso set, and I'm pulsing that band back, keeping tension in it. Again, that's a waste of time if you lose that tension in the band. My torso's set here. I'm not rocking, okay? So I will, one leg one round, one leg the other round. I'll give you the halfway. If you don't have a a loop band, then what I want you to do is this donkey kick pulse here in the same format that we're doing the loop band. So that covers everything. You should have whatever you need here. I will get the timer going and we'll start with those lat pull downs or pull backs with the tube band. Okay, I like to kneel with mine here. That's where I get the most tension for my lat pullbacks. Straight arm, pause at the bottom. If you're just doing the standing pullback with the tube band, make sure you're aiming that band for under your chest. Don't let your shoulders roll forward here if you're doing the same exercise I'm doing. Next round, I'll kneel the opposite direction. Okay, quickly get that band around your ankles, or you're doing the donkey kick pulse. If you need to hold on to something here, you can. Keep tension in that band. Looks like I probably should have held on to something. Think about keeping that toe pointed to the ground. Keep tension in the band. You've got to keep that glute under tension the entire time. Good job. Fight through it here. Woo, break. Back to our lat pull down. Or pull back. Now if the straight arms, if you're just struggling to keep your shoulders down, you can always make this more of a wide row. Same principle applies though with all our band work, and that is to keep those bands under tension the whole time. If you ever let slack go in the band, there's no point to the movement. You want to keep your muscles under tension the entire time. Break. Other side for the glute raise or the donkey kick. Try to keep those hips square by keeping that toe pointed down. Remember, you don't want a lot of movement in your torso. Once it's set, it's set. I'll do my last back exercise with the two bands standing up. Those of you that are doing it that way. Okay, I guess you can just keep that tube or loop band on. All right, grab that band so that you're going to have the most tension. Sometimes I double my band over depending. Pull back, under chest, keep tension in that band, pull back. Don't let those shoulders ride up. You're really thinking about squeezing that pencil behind you in those shoulder blades. I was going awfully slow there. I better pick up my pace. Shoulders, back. Nice job. All right, with this one, I will give you the halfway indicator so you can switch sides, whether you're doing the donkey kick or the rear raiser here. Here we go. Whether or not I can maintain my balance when I look at the timer, that's a huge variable. And I'm even going to give it, I doubt it, but we'll see how we do. 2, 1, switch sides. Good job. Keep tension in the band, or if you're doing a donkey kick, keep that leg up there. I want that thigh parallel to the ground. Nice job here. Okay, full body workout that focused on back and glutes, supersetted it, efficient, got to the point. We worked those muscle groups in their entirety, and Cindy's gonna hit the chest and quads with you later in the week. Grab one of the stretching videos if you wanna get a stretch after this. Thanks for helping me through this superset workout, and I will see you next time.